What's up, world? You're tuned into 423 FM. You already know we've got you covered with your daily dose of celebrity drama. Now let's get into it. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the 423. Drake's dad, Dennis Graham, recently had a conversation with Nick Cannon on Power 106, where he talked about his son supposedly using their early relationship to sell records. This interview happened about a week ago now, but just started gaining traction after publications started to point out that Dennis is alleging he was always there for his son and wasn't the absentee father Drake made him out to be in his music. Here's the clip.
Do you have to deal with any of that stuff from like the upbringing of Drake and him kind of living in Toronto without you at times? We hear it in his lyrics sometimes.
I had a conversation with Drake about that. I have always been with Drake. I talk to him, if not every day, every other day.
Wow.
And we really got into a deep conversation about that. I said, Drake, why are you saying all of this different stuff about me, man? Like, this is not cool. And he goes, Dad, it sells records. I said, okay, well, cool.
I wish my dad was that understanding.
Talk about me.
So, like I said, this is getting a lot of attention today because people already like to paint Drake as someone who doesn't write his own music since the whole Meek Mill beef. So this narrative that Drake's music has always been a lie is something easy to jump on. Drake actually ended up responding to these rumors in an Instagram story, writing, "Woke up today so hurt, man. My father will say anything to anyone that's willing to listen to him. It's sad when family gets like this, but what can we really do? That's the people we're stuck with. Every bar I ever spit was the truth, and the truth is hard for some people to accept." And apparently, this isn't the first time Dennis has told a similar story in interviews. He was on a waste of time with It's the Real earlier this year, and Drake's dad once again said that him and his son have conversations about keeping up this act simply because it sells music. Drake has mentioned plenty of times before throughout different records that his father wasn't always there. I wouldn't necessarily say that he painted him as an awful person or anything like that, especially compared to some other rappers and their not so positive relationships with their fathers, but he definitely talks about him not being there. I wish I could play some lyrics for you, but the video would get claimed, and I'm not going to sing this either because I like you guys and I'm not going to put you through that. But a perfect example of Drake's childhood relationship with his father is in Look What You've Done on Take Care, which I'm sure most of you are already familiar with. Drake says, "And my father living in Memphis now, he can't come this way, over some minor changes in child support that just wasn't paid. Damn, boohoo, sad story, Black American dad story." And this was back in 2011, so to Drake's credit, it's not like he started making up stories about having this absentee father once he got on. This has sort of always been his experience. In 0 to 100, Drake says, "I've been ready since my dad used to tell me he was coming to the house to get me. He ain't show up. Valuable lesson, man, I had to grow up." And most recently, on the Scorpion track March 14th, he talks about being ashamed of being a single father because he's been through it himself and wanted different for his kids, and he wasn't able to provide that. There are several more examples. This is a topic that Drake has explored often throughout his music, but really what I get from looking into these specific examples is that Dennis isn't necessarily saying anything different than Drake was on these songs. I mean, it's obvious that Dennis is looking for attention, which is clearly just who he is since he started hanging out with his son more heavily, but he says that he talked to Drake every day, which isn't something that the rapper necessarily disputed. In his songs, he talks about living in Canada while his dad is in the States, his parents being divorced, and talking to his dad and being told he's going to visit, which didn't always come to fruition. There's a huge difference in talking to someone and them actually being there, and it seems like Dennis may have had pretty frequent phone calls with Drake, but that doesn't make up for him not physically being there for his son. Obviously, none of us know what really happened here, but it's pretty simple to see that Drake is probably correct when he said his dad will say anything to anyone that's willing to listen. And look at him stirring the pot, making headlines. I think it's sad that these two have clearly rekindled their relationship and gotten a lot closer in Drake's adulthood, to now have Dennis doing things like this and speaking negatively on his own son. Whether or not he feels like he was there for Drake, he can't speak on his experience, and having divorced parents, whether or not they're both there for you, can still take a toll. So it sucks to see celebrities dealing with family members who get too caught up in fame and try to make these salacious headlines out of nothing. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think that Dennis Graham is doing all of this for attention, or does he really think that Drake made up these lyrics simply to sell records and he was some amazing father? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments, subscribe to the 423 for more videos, and if you like this one, just give it a quick thumbs up. That is it for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.